Good evening, everybody. Getting ready to start and hopefully share my Monday evening trauma recovery yoga practice. You know, I've been practicing on Monday nights for a little over a year and a half now. And, and usually before all of this coronavirus started, social distancing, and that's Oscar, chasing Oscar away again, just like I did last night. But my Monday night practice was always at an amazing place called Endure LV that focused on recovery from addiction and alcoholism. And I was able to share that practice with people building their lives back up from the depths of those traumatic experiences. I also got to share my practice weekly with people from another amazing group called the Fearless Kind. That again was a residential facility, or is a residential facility, doing amazing things for women in recovery from alcohol, addiction, abuse, trauma. A place for women to put their life back together. And I'll tell you, I truly miss those people. Sometimes they're able to join me here in practice. I'm really looking forward to being able to move past this situation we find ourselves in. But I also know that it's very important that we continue our practices in whichever way we can. That's the key piece to all of this is predictability, stability, and repetition. We're working on building new habits. We're not looking to break old habits. The old habits can take care of themselves. But what we try to do with trauma recovery yoga is build new habits that may push away some of those old habits. But either way it goes, those new habits help us to find a better self within us. And again, none of this is treatment or anything like this. This is no bestowing, nothing like that. This is all about you and I practicing together, sharing a mind-body experience that is purely yours and purely mine. We can share this space together, but what you experience is yours. What I experience is mine. And that's one of our key tenets, that this is your yoga, your way. So as we move through this practice, remember that whether you do everything I do or do nothing, do more, do less, any amount, it doesn't matter, because it's your practice, your way. If you choose to just sit on your mat and breathe tonight, or sit on your couch and breathe tonight, then you too are doing yoga. And that's what this is all about, just finding a way for each of us to locate that little bit of peace within ourselves. So with that being said, even though Instagram is still telling me to hold on because it's looking for people, move my mat out a little bit so I don't go smacking the TV. Begin to we're going to take and begin our practice. Like you say, no experience necessary. If you think you're going to see some graceful, flowing yogi, well, you're in the wrong place. Me, I'm just a 55-year-old electrician that's trying to figure out how to make it through another day. So, with that being said, we're going to come into an easy seated position. We're going to begin, as we always begin, with a reminder of how to self-regulate. Again, part of that establishing new habits. So, self-regulation. We begin that process by grounding. Literally feeling and noticing the ground through the sides of our feet, through our sit bones, anywhere that we're in contact with the earth. But this time we notice it, let's say putting our hand down on the mat and looking at the hand, and we truly feel that stability and that support, and recognize and notice that that stability and support is always there. All we have to do is notice it. The next piece of self-regulation is centering. The process of bringing all of the scattered thoughts and focus that are out here, bringing them in here. We do that by first lifting the pelvic floor. There's some fancy mula bandha or something like that name for it. I don't know. We don't use Sanskrit. We lift the pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. We feel that heat beginning to build, and then we pull the belly button in towards the spine, beginning to stoke that inner furnace that we can use during our practice to get rid of anything that no longer serves us. And maybe, just maybe, you'll notice your thoughts and your ideas and your focus moving towards that center of your gut, that center of your being. Next, I want you to take and start noticing your breath, not controlling it, not changing it, just noticing. Am I breathing in or am I breathing out? And the aha here is that it's very difficult, if not impossible, to truly be aware of the breath anywhere except right here, right now. You can't breathe in the past. You can't breathe in the future. You can only breathe right here at this moment in time. So then we're going to begin to deepen that breath, releasing the belly button. We're going to fill the body up with air from the bottom to the top, expanding the belly, inhaling as the belly expands. The chest inflates, ribs separate, shoulders lift. And finally, that last little sip of air makes the eyes cool and sparkle. And then we exhale, the chin comes down as we reverse that flow. The shoulders come down as the ribs knit back together, and the belly button comes in towards the spine. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift. Eyes cool and sparkle. And then exhale, the chin comes down. Shoulders soften. Belly comes in. One more time. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift. Eyes cool and sparkle. And then exhale as the chin comes down. Shoulders soften. Belly comes in. Now we're just going to release ourselves back to our normal breathing pace, but continuing to notice, am I breathing in? Am I breathing out? Just allowing that natural rhythm to take over as the air flows in and the air flows out. Now we're going to begin to link some movement to that breath movement, to that breathing cycle. So on the next inhale, we're going to take and bring the right ear to the right shoulder. focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Continuing to keep that breath flowing in, flowing out, feeling that stretch across the top of the neck, gentle compression on the top of the other shoulder. And on the next exhale, we allow the chin to come back to neutral, feeling that compressed muscles releasing. We're continuing to let the air flow in and flow out. And on the next inhale, we're going to take and go to the other side, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, focusing on keeping that shoulder down and the shoulder blade plugged in. Feeling the stretch across the opposite side of the neck as we continue to feel the air flowing in and flowing out. And then on the next exhale, we're going to allow the chin to come back down towards the chest. And as that air flows in and flows out, we're going to get ready to move in some neck circles. Again, linking the breath to the movement. So on the next inhale, we're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder and back. Exhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder and down. Inhaling as we go to the right and extend. Exhaling, coming to the left and compress. Inhaling to the right and extend. Exhaling to the left and compress. As we go through this movement, it's okay to allow your body to adopt any organic movement that feels right for you. Feeling that spine begin to loosen up. As we go around one more time, inhaling to the right and back. Exhaling to the left and down. Allowing that chin to rest heavily, feeling those tendons begin to tug up the back of your neck, tugging on your scalp. And now we're going to take and reverse that rotation. Again, linking the breath to the movement, inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling as we extend, exhaling as we compress. Inhaling as we extend, allowing our body to sway and move as it wants. Remembering to continue to inhale and exhale. Letting the movement and the breath flow together before finally allowing the chin to come back down towards the chest. Maybe sinking a little bit further, tugging gently on the back of the neck before bringing the gaze back up to center. Bringing the right hand up, palm forward, shoulder blade plugged into the socket. Then shifting the gaze to the hand, the palm of the hand, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, allowing the light to flow in and stimulate the happy center in the brain. Shifting the gaze to the left, bringing the left hand down to the mat. And again, truly seeing, feeling, and noticing the ground and the support it gives. Walking that hand gently away, shifting the gaze back forward. Inhale, extend the hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come over the top, stretching out the right side, compressing the left side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the knees. Now we're going to do the other side. Inhale, bringing the left hand up again, keeping that shoulder blade plugged in. Shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, blinking the eyes once more, wiggling the fingers, allowing the light to flow in, before shifting the gaze to the right, bringing that right hand down to the mat, feeling that support, walking it slowly away, Shifting the gaze back forward, reaching that left hand up towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, coming over the top, feeling that stretch on the one side and the crunch on the other. Before inhaling, coming back up, exhaling, bringing the hands down to the knees. Now we're going to take an inhale, bring the hands overhead, bringing the fingers together, interlacing the 3 fingers, excluding the index finger, touching the pads of the thumb together. Inhale while your gaze is still focused forward. Inhale, extend up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, come over 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling, coming back up, and exhale, come over 1, 2 numbers on the other direction on your clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling, coming back up. Continuing to feel that breath flowing in and flowing out. Shifting the gaze up towards the hands, that cup formed in the hands. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to extend and tighten up and lift and reach as high up, feeling our biceps brushing our ears, holding that air in before we release. And open the arms and the heart up and feel the weight of the day begin to lift from our shoulders. And we're going to take and bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip, sitting up straight as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to twist with the torso to the right. Inhale, sit up straight, shift the gaze back over that right shoulder, using that front arm to pull yourself around a little bit more as you exhale. Again, twisting that spine a little bit. Then we're going to inhale, come back to center. And then we're going to take and bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip, sitting up straight. We're going to, as we exhale, we're going to twist at the base of the rib cage to the left. Feeling that twist begin to loosen up all of those tendons. Inhale, sit up straight, shift the gaze back with that left shoulder. Using that front hand, pull yourself around just a little bit more before releasing and coming back to the center position. All of this flexing side to side, all of this twisting, all of this stretching side to side is working on toning our vagal nerve, which helps build up our resilience. So now we're going to move into tabletop. Placing our hands underneath our shoulders, fingers spread wide. Again, taking a second to notice that support provided by the ground. Knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet flat on the mat. And hello, Eric, and hello, Suzanne. Sorry, I can't see the people on Facebook, but I can see the people on Instagram big and bold. It sucks getting old and having to wear glasses. Inhale, feel your head pull to the far side of the room. And again, continuing to work on toning that vagal nerve. We're going to exhale as we twist around, look over the right shoulder at that right pinky toe. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, squeeze it out to the other side, looking over that left shoulder at the left pinky toe. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, look over the right one more time. And then inhale, back to center. And one more time to the left, just to keep ourselves balanced. Inhale, back to center. And now we're going to move into bird dog, or lion, or I'm sure there's some Sanskrit name that I can't remember. But we start that by extending the left leg back, tucking the toes, And I take this opportunity to bounce on those tucked toes a little bit to begin stretching out the hamstring and our Achilles tendons, shifting the weight into the left hand, extending the right hand out, pulling the belly button in to engage the core, bringing that back leg up. And now we're noticing and we're feeling those little tremors, those little shakes, embracing them. Exhale, come back down to tabletop. Then we're going to take and bring the right leg back, tucking the toes, taking this opportunity to begin loosening up those tendons in the back of our legs, shifting our weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, pulling the belly button in, and again, bringing that back leg up, and again, embracing, noticing, and enjoying those little tremors, those little shakes. Exhale, come back down to tabletop. Now we're going to begin to set ourselves up to go into our first down dog of the night. I do that by tucking my toes and bringing my sit bones back towards my heels. However you decide to do it is the way you're supposed to. It's your yoga, your way. I then unfold my knees and bring my sit bones back up towards the ceiling. Feeling the backs of my legs begin to stretch out. Maybe feeling my biceps begin to brush my ears as my head comes down below the level of my heart. Not worrying about my knees being bent, not worrying about my heels touching down on the mat. Just noticing this resting posture. Not a resting posture for our muscles, a resting position for our internal organs, most especially our heart, because it's not being forced to push blood up to our head in this position. So we inhale, look forward, and slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Notice my knees are bent. That's just fine. I'm bringing my hands to the crease of my hips, straightening my knees up, keeping my head bent forward and my shoulders rolled forward as I slowly inhale, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, rising slowly up, 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 up. When I finally reach the top, rolling the shoulders up and back and bringing the head up to neutral, opening my heart up to the far side of the room, feeling a little bit more of the day's worries lift from my shoulders. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. High plank, keeping the elbows in. And remember, it's okay to come to your knees, whatever works for you. Keeping your elbows in, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, and pushing and hinging back into downward dog. Now is when we begin to try to set another good habit, another positive habit. And this is in opposition to a negative habit. How we always talk so terrible to ourselves. We use this position to practice speaking good to ourselves. And we start those conversations internally with those two words, I am. I am courageous. I am practicing yoga. I am present. We're going to inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward up between the hands. Notice this isn't super smooth or anything else. This is a 55-year-old electrician doing yoga. And I'm just trying to show you that it's okay. You don't need to look like one of those yogurt commercials. We're here to practice yoga, not be judged or criticized even by ourselves. So we're coming up into Warrior Two, the back foot across the back of the mat, Front knee over the front ankle, arms extended out, gaze out over that front hand. Noticing where our shoulders positioned. Are they leaning back, stuck in the past? Are they leaning forward, yearning for the future? Or are we right here, right now, participating in our practice at this exact moment? Turn that front hand over and reach that front hand up towards the ceiling and run that back hand down the back side of your leg, feeling that inner muscle and your inner thigh stretch out and release some of that tension you've been storing there. Inhale, come back up to warrior two, straighten the front leg, tip the pelvis back, and again, now bringing that back hand up towards the ceiling, keeping the heart open to the far side of the room. Run that front hand down the inside of the front leg, feeling that release on the inside of that front thigh. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, and push right back up into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am strong. I am a good person. I am worthy. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward. Notice I'm even clumsier on this side. Rising up into warrior two on the other side. Back foot again across the back of the mat. Front foot with the heel lined up with the instep. Knee slightly bent. Back leg straight. Coming up into warrior two, arms extended. Gaze out over the front. Turn that front hand over. Reach it up towards the ceiling. Running that back hand down the back side of the leg. Maybe you do feel like a yogurt commercial right now. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Straighten that front knee out. Shift your hips back. Bring that back hand up towards the ceiling, keeping the heart open. Run that front hand down the inside of that front leg. Again, feeling that release on the inside of that leg. Come back up to warrior two. Windmill the hands down. Step back, pushing back into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am handsome. I am pretty. I am likable. Inhale, look forward, hop, walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Taking a second to notice any changes that this first few minutes of practice, 15, 20 minutes of practice have done. Maybe, like me, you got a little bit of sweat building up, a little bit of moisture in your brow. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more flexible. Maybe you're noticing that your knees are straightening out a little bit more in downward dog. So we inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. High plank, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog. Tucking toes, pushing back into downward dog. Continuing to try to work on setting that new habit. I am amazing. I am doing good for me. I am open. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward, dropping the back knee down into a low lunge. Knowing it's okay to come into kneeling position. If your knees are bothering you, bring the sit bones back to the heels, moving into hero's pose. Or it's okay to stay in low lunge. With our shoulders back, We're going to inhale and bring the hands up overhead. And we're going to shift the gaze up between our hands, noticing as we do that there's a beautiful balloon in your favorite color. And on that balloon, you're going to write down all of the stuff you have been telling yourself about why you can't move forward. Writing down all of those things you say and think that hold you back. You're writing it all down, filling that balloon completely with Sharpie markings. And then you're going to take an inhale, reaching it up, up, up. And then as you exhale, you're letting it go. And you're watching it float higher and higher. And feeling it gently tug all of those things that no longer serve you out and away, leaving you lighter than you felt all day long. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, step back, downward dog. I am lighter. I am moving forward. I am okay. Bring the left leg up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, swinging that left leg forward. Again, it's not about how you get there, it's about getting there. Coming into a low lunge on the other side, knowing it's okay to move into hero's pose to take the pressure off your knees. And then we're going to take and bring those hands up overhead. And this time, as we shift that gaze up, we see a beautiful little sky lantern. And into that gondola, holding that little flickering candle, we're going to put all of the words, all the emotions, all of the feelings that we wish we truly yearn to communicate to somebody, anybody, here or far away. We're putting them all in there and lifting that little sky lantern up and releasing it. And as we watch it floating up, 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 we see it get caught by the wind and somehow just know that those words, feelings, and emotions are going to be communicated to exactly the person or the ear that they're supposed to be. Inhale, bring the hands back up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down, tuck the toes, step back, downward dog. I am feeling more at ease. I am courageous. I am doing great. Inhale, look forward. I'm going to step through into an easy seated position. Hello, Erica. Moving into our seated sequence, holding the bottom of our feet together, taking a second to focus and notice those feet that carry us so far, those ankles that support us, the bottoms of the feet that provide that connection to the ground that we so often overlook, but now we're going to notice. We're going to notice that connection to the ground, that connection to the earth that's always waiting there to support us. In times of stress, in times of indecision, it'll be the first thing we do is say, wow, the earth is there to support me. As we sit here, we're going to feel our shoulders begin to be pulled up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to hinge at the hips forward, allowing ourselves to fold over our feet, opening up all of those tendons, all of those muscles to where they can release that tension and stress we've been storing there all day long. Inhale, we're going to feel ourselves extend a little bit further to the far side of the room. Exhale, sink down just a little bit more. releasing even more of that tension and stress. Inhale, slowly, slowly sit up. Keeping the feet on the mat, we're going to bring the knees up, shifting our weight into our sit bones, getting ready to go into our first of 3 boat poses. And again, remembering this is your yoga, your way. If you choose to only bring one foot or both feet up, that's your choice. If you choose to lean back on your hands, that's your choice, and you are doing your yoga your way. So as we lean back, shifting that weight into our sit bones, we pull our belly in and remembering to continue to let that air flow in and flow out. We bring up one foot, maybe both feet, maybe bring the hands out to the side, maybe feel ourselves rowing. We begin to notice that tremble. Notice that shake that we talked about a little bit earlier. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down, coming right back into our second boat pose. Again, whatever works for you. Feeling again that tremble, that shake, and knowing that that tremble, that shake signifies fear leaving the body. The mind and the body teaming up to chase fear away. Exhale, right, left ankle over right. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Come right back into our third and full pose. And now we really can feel our mind and our body working together to chase all of that fear away. Embracing the tremble, embracing the shake. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down. Breathing in and breathing out before we roll over, moving into high plank. However you get there is just fine. Because as I keep saying, this is your yoga, your way. If you want to stay on your knees, that's fine. Whatever works for you. Feeling again that straight line in our back, the flatness of our back, and our shoulders separated. Feeling like we're pushing the earth down, tipping the heels to the right, bring the left hand up towards the ceiling. Again, noticing that tremble, noticing that shake as our mind and our body work together, chasing fear away. Coming back down to high plank, immediately shifting the heels to the other side, reaching that right hand up towards the ceiling, and focusing hard on taking control and telling fear there's no place for you here. Exhale, come back down. We move down into forearm plank, feeling our shoulder blades separate. Bring our knees down to the mat, tops of our thighs, separating our hands, bringing our favorite ear to the mat, and finally just allowing the tops of our feet to flop over and rest heavily against the mat. As we're laying here, noticing the support of the earth as our breath lifts us up and then lets us down. I want you to begin to notice your heart beating in your chest. Feel it pulsing, feeling it throbbing against the mat. Maybe it's the first time you've noticed that all day. And realizing that that heart is beating there for the person that is you. It beats 24 hours a day, pushing love up, up, up to the top of your head, and down, down, down to the tips of your toes. Bring your head up and bring your other ear to the mat. And as you feel yourself being filled with that love that your heart is pulsing out, maybe you begin to notice that love radiating out in concentric circles, embracing your household, embracing your neighborhood, and ultimately embracing your community. Now we're going to take and bring the hands down on either side of the chest, bring the head back up to neutral before we push ourselves up into tabletop once again, just long enough to bring the big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat, sit bones back towards the heels. We're going to move into child's pose. You can bring your forehead to the mat to bring that connection, or you can do like I do, creating your own personal little column with its little hollow conduit connecting directly to the earth. First one fist and then the other, bringing that center of your forehead into contact and perching it on top of your own personal column. Feeling that pressure on your pineal gland begin to signal your body that it's safe and it's okay to begin to slow down. Feeling that pressure, creating that connection between your think center or third eye and the earth. You feel and see the last of those things that other people have told you or you've told yourself that no longer serve you, swirling around and ultimately flowing down, out through that third eye, flowing into that conduit you created in your own personal column, and being sucked down and dissipated into the earth, leaving you freer, lighter, and more at ease. We're going to take and bring our hands, keeping the head down and tucked, bring our palms of our hands with the fingers spread out firmly in contact with the mat, and gently, slowly begin scooting them one side at a time, gently, slowly, keeping the head tucked back towards the body, bringing yourself up slowly, 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 before rising the shoulders up and back, and bringing the head up and feeling the rest of the weight of the world lift from your shoulders, leaving you free and at ease. We're going to lean over to the side. We're going to move into a reclined position, keeping our feet flat on the mat, knees up towards the ceiling, arms spread out in a T or cactus formation, feeling your back begin to melt into the mat, walking your knees out to the edge of the mat. And again, we're going to take and practice linking movement with the breath. So on our next exhale, we're going to exhale slowly as our knees fall over very slowly to the right. And then inhale ever so slowly, slowly, slowly as the knees come up. And then exhale as they fall slowly, slowly, slowly to the left. Inhale as they slowly, slowly, slowly come back up. Exhale, allow them to fall slowly, slowly, slowly to the right. Keeping our knees down there, shifting our gaze out over the left hand to give our back one last gentle twist, feeling our neck muscles relaxing, just letting ourselves sink further and further into the mat. Before inhaling, bring the gaze back up to the ceiling, slowly bringing the knees back up, and then on the next exhale, allow them to slowly fall to the left, shifting the gaze out over that right arm. Again, noticing that twist. It's just releasing the tension stored up in those rubber bands that run up and down your back. Releasing all of that tension, letting you finally just release and melt down, down, down. And And we're going to slowly bring the gaze back up towards the ceiling. Slowly bring the knees back up as we move into our position for guided meditation or Shavasana. See, I do remember one or two words of Sanskrit, but it's not important. We're moving into a guided meditation, a deep relaxation. As we move into this, traditionally, your feet slightly apart, allow your feet to flop open, releasing the pressure on your hips, arms at the sides, hands can be up, hands can be down. Just let your hands just relax and let go of anything they're still trying to hold on to. If you choose to sit up, that's fine. If it feels right to lay on your belly or curled into a fetal position, that's just wonderful. You're practicing choice. It's your yoga, your way. And as we're lying here, enjoying this sense of ease and lightness that we have worked so hard to gift ourselves this evening, we begin to feel a beautiful ball of light gently pushing its way in through our scalp, making our hair tingle, making our forehead release and smooth out. As it sinks down in, we feel our eyebrows separating, our eyes sinking deeper in their sockets. As that ball of light continues to push into your skull, your jaw goes slack. Teeth separated, lips slightly together, as your tongue resting heavily on the back of your teeth. You feel that light flowing down, down, down through your neck, pushing its way into your chest, tingling as rays run down through your arms into your fingers, making and feeling that tingling energy flowing through the palms of your hands. As that beautiful light gently massages and caresses your heart, leaving you feeling complete. That light flows down through your belly, into your pelvis. You feel the front of your thighs begin to tingle. As that light continues to push down through your legs, you feel it beginning to push out all of the rest of the debris that no longer serves you. You feel it being pushed out the bottom of your feet. As that light flows down into your feet, pushing out ahead of it all of those things that you don't need anymore, leaving you light and free. May I be safe, secure, and at ease. May my family be safe, secure, and at ease. May my community be safe, secure, and at ease. May the whole world find safety, security, and relief from dis-ease. As we begin to move back up into our evening, I ask you to begin wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rotating your wrists and your ankles, bringing your hands to the center of your chest before reaching those hands, fingers extended up towards the ceiling, reaching, yearning, stretching, and then pulling your knees into your chest, wrapping yourself in a warm, luscious hug, rocking gently on your back from side to side to massage out the last of any little kinks in your lower back. Allow yourself to roll over into a fetal position on your favorite side, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, upper hand coming down to feel again and refresh yourself with the feeling of stability and security that the ground is waiting there to provide. Keeping your eyes closed to hold on to this feeling of security and ease that you have gifted yourself. Using that upper arm, pushing yourself up, up, up into an easy seated position. I invite you to take and bring your hands together at heart center, thumbs pressed gently into the sternum, allowing the head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. I ask you to hear these words, say them silently to yourself, and know them to be true. I am whole. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am complete. A beautiful light that shines within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same beautiful light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you all so very much. I genuinely appreciate that. Hey, Mark. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great evening. And hey, Donna, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining. Have a great evening, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Maybe I'll even get a haircut before then.